Hello viewers, hope you're doing well. Today in this video, I'm going to call sign up and the login API in React application. So let's get started. Let me open here a terminal. So first I'm going to install JS cookie and the axios package in React application. So the command that we have npm install js-cookie and the axios. So as you can see, the packages are installed successfully inside the src. Let me create a new folder with the name environment. So inside this, let me create a new file with the name axios instance.jsx. Inside this, let me initialize here axios. We have to import here this package that we have axios. So as you can see, a base URL of our Spring Boot application. We have to export here instance. After this file, let me open here common.jsx. So inside this, let me define a variable with the name token. After that, I'm going to add here the function that we have save token. This function will get a token inside the argument. Inside this function, we have to call the function from cookies that we have set. Inside the argument of this, we have to pass here a key that we have token and the value that we are getting inside the argument. So here on the top, let me add the import for cookies. After that, let me open here auth service. So inside this, I'm going to add the functions for sign up and the login, where we have to call the endpoints from Spring Boot application. So first function that we have sign up, so it will be a async function inside the argument. It will get a sign up DTO object. Inside this function, we have a try and the catch block. Inside the try block, we have to call the endpoint from a Spring Boot application, where a mapping that we have post. Inside this, we have to define here a URL that we have api/auth/signup. After the URL, we have to pass here a signup DTO object. In case of exception, we have to catch here inside the catch block and throw it. Second function that we have login. So this function will get a login DTO object inside the argument. Inside this function, we have to call the endpoint from a Spring Boot application inside the try block, where mapping that we have post URL that we have api/auth/login. After the URL, we have to pass here login DTO object and return the response after getting it. On the top, let me import here axios instance. As you can see, the import of axios instance. Now after the auth service, let me create a new folder inside the src. So the package name that we have user, inside a user, I'm going to create a subpackage with the name dashboard. Inside this, let me create a new file with the name dashboard.jsx. Inside this file, let me set up this component, where a component name that we have dashboard. Inside this, we have the return statement, where we have h1 tag with the caption dashboard works, and we have to export here a dashboard component. So it will be a export default dashboard. After creating this component, let me open here app.jsx. Let me duplicate this route. Now I'm going to register a dashboard component as a routing, where a path that we have /dashboard. On this path, we have to load here a component that we have dashboard. After creating and setting up a dashboard component, let me open here a sign up component. So as you can see, a function that we have handle submit. From this function, we have to call the function from auth service to call the endpoint. Before updating this function, let me open here a terminal. Let me add here the command to install notice stack. Let's hit enter. As you can see, the package installed successfully. Let me kill the PowerShell. After installing a notice tag, let me open here main.jsx file. Let me wrap the app tag with snack bar provider. Now as you can see, a function that we have sign up. So inside this, let me add the instance of use snack bar. We have to import this from notice tag. After initializing this hook, I'm going to update this function that we have handle submit, where we have a try catch and the finally block. So inside the try block, we have to call the function from auth service that we have sign up. Inside the argument of this function, we have to pass here a form data object that has email, password, first name and the last name. After calling the endpoint, we have to check here response status. First status is 201. Then we have to extract response data. After extracting it, we have to call the function from common.jsx that we have save token. Inside the argument, we have to pass here response data.token. After saving a token, we have to navigate a user to a dashboard page. So as you can see, the instance that we have navigate from use navigate. Inside the argument, we have to pass here a path for dashboard component that we have slash dashboard. At the last, we have to show here a snack bar where we have a message welcome and the response data dot name. After the try block, we have a catch block where we have to catch an error. Inside this, we have the if condition where we have to check error dot response dot status 49. Then we have to show a snack bar with a caption user already exists. Otherwise, we have to show here sign up failed. At the last, we have a finally block that we'll use to set the loading state value to false. After sign up component, we have to call a login endpoint. So let me copy this function. Let's go to the login component. Let me replace this function with this. So inside the try block of this function, we have to call the function from auth service that we have login. Inside the argument, we have to pass here a form data object. After calling the API, we have to check here a response status. If the status is 200, then we have to show a snack bar. With this, we have to navigate a user to a dashboard page and save the token to the cookies. Inside the catch block, let me remove here if and the else condition. Now we have to show here a snack bar with the caption sign in field. Now you can take a look of a login component. And this is a sign up component. Now let's navigate to the browser and let's test the API. Let me open here the inspect. Let's go to the console. As you can see, there we got snack bar is not defined. Let me import here a snack bar inside main.jsx file. So as you can see, the import of snack bar provider from notice stack. First, I'm going to call here a sign up API. Let's click on the sign up button. As you can see, a snack bar we got sign up field. Let me open here the inspect. Let's go to the network tab. Okay, we are getting here a course error. Let's fix this issue. So let me open here an auth controller inside the Spring Boot application. On the top of this class, let me add here the annotation that we have at the rate cross origin. Here we have a value static. Let me rerun the Spring Boot application. Let's call the endpoint again. As you can see, a snack bar we got. With this, it's navigating us to a dashboard page. Inside the network tab, you can see a status code we got 201 created. Inside the response tab, we are getting here a JWT and the name of a created user. After sign up API, let me call here a login endpoint where email address. Let me add here john@gmail.com. Password that we have John. Now let's click on the sign in button. As you can see, a network tab where we have a status code 200 OK. Inside the response tab, we are getting here a response of the API, but it's not navigating us to a dashboard page and not showing here a snack bar. Let me check what is the issue. Let me check the import of this function on the top. Okay, we have not imported this function. Let me import this. With this, we have to initialize a use snack bar hook. So let me copy the hook from sign up component. Let me add inside the login component. We have to import here a use snack bar from notice stack. Let's call the login endpoint again. As you can see, a snack bar we got and it's navigating us to a dashboard page. So that's all for now from my side. If you have any confusion, you can do comment. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.